I'm kind of gonna be like all over the place, but I still want to come out here regardless, as always. Just to kind of like, this is like my creative space, I guess you could say. People back in the years would like write down and maybe create books or something like that. And then now we're in the era of like, we've got cameras, we can just record ourselves kind of just talking and stuff, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. I don't know. Like, that's just what I'm doing here. And yeah, like I said, like in other videos I've also stated this, I don't have a script. I just kind of just flow off of whatever's kind of like going on throughout the day. Whatever I was thinking throughout the day or however I'm feeling at the moment. That's what these videos are really doing. Like, I'm just kind of like being an open book about my day, pretty much. But there's also something kind of like, I wouldn't say that I'm always pointing to something deep in these videos, but it's also, I think, maybe something a little bit like reassuring in these videos. I don't know exactly how to word it, but it's also like what I'm trying to reassure people of is kind of like, I'm not reassuring just a particular, like, I guess you could say I'm assuring like a particular group. I'm reassuring like humans. I'm reassuring people, real people, people that reflect on their day-to-day lives and might be going through something, or there's a certain predicament going on, or even if you're just having a regular day, to be honest. So that's kind of like what I'm here doing. I don't know why I felt the need to kind of clarify that, but nonetheless, we're gonna carry on. So throughout today, like especially when I woke up, I was supposed to, I wouldn't say I was supposed to, but last night it was planned that I was going to go like on a morning hike with someone, and it didn't end up happening, which I thought was kind of interesting, to say the least, because, it's like as I was getting ready to go to bed and the plan sort of arose as something to do for today, last night, I was kind of like, ooh, because the plan was supposed to be at like 9 in the morning, and I'm sorry, but I'm just not a morning person by any means, at least right now at this point in my life. I don't know if that's going to change and at any point going forward. Who knows? It's up for the universe to unfold that way for me, if it's going to happen. I don't know. But the point is, I really do kind of value like sleeping in. I can't lie. Like if it's just like a me kind of day, I'm probably going to get out of bed at like 12 p.m. Almost like 12 p.m. I've slowly been regressing the time. Regressing? I don't know if that's the proper term I want to use here. I've slowly been peeling back. Like, instead of waking up so much like in the afternoon, like at the start of the afternoon, I've kind of been getting a little bit closer to like waking up at a more like decent, I want to say decent, at a more earlier time. But I mean, everyone's life functions differently, okay? Like, I'm not by any means trying to force me waking up early. If there's a good reason for me, if there's a good reason for me personally, I'm going to do it. But that's not how it ended up going today. Like, I kind of went to bed last night thinking, man, like a morning hike, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good plan. I just kind of suck at waking up early. And the particular person that I was going to go with, I kind of had, I was kind of like reading in between the lines and kind of seeing what like the kind of motive was behind going on that morning walk, and it wasn't something that I personally felt aligned with. Listen, those words that I just said, if you're able to unpack that and kind of understand what I mean, it says quite a lot. It says quite a lot about that particular situation. So when I woke up this morning and that particular person like told me like, oh, like something came up, we could do later, right? In the moment I'm thinking, oh, they mean like later in the day, like later in the day. But then they clarified like, oh, I mean like another day, right? And at that point, I was just like, okay, I kind of know what the motive was behind this like meetup. I'm not really aligning with it. I'm not really aligning with it. And then the universe was like, okay, that you're not aligning with it. You kind of went to sleep. I'm not saying that the universe is exactly doing this, but this is how it's kind of playing out in my head at the moment. I went to bed, I myself knew like, okay, yeah, like this is not something that I'm really aligned with. Next thing I know, the person says like, oh, something came up, let's do later. And I just kind of like left it at that because I'm like, hold up, I'm gonna need some time and space to like really think. Honestly, I don't even know if it's necessary to really like take the time and space to really think. I already know it kind of didn't align with like where I'm at. Um, so who knows what'll come of that next? It probably reached a full stop at this point, but who really knows? Who really knows? The universe works in very mysterious ways. But all I know is at this moment, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I know that how I felt in terms of the motive was something that I personally wasn't aligned with, you know? So we'll leave it at that. But anyways, the point is that another thing that I like kind of want to talk about, which may be, you know what, I'm not even going to preface it like that, you know? Point is, throughout my day today, I kind of been in like a state of, you know, like, man, I kind of was in a very, I don't know if how I could say it. Like, I was kind of like in a state of just complaining, but I wasn't really complaining. I wasn't like voicing my complaints. But I was in a space, I did let one slip out, and I was like, man, today's a boring ass day. And I said that out loud next to my mom, and my mom was like, what do you mean by that? And I didn't really like feel like diving too deep. And I don't say that like as in like, oh, I didn't want to talk about it. I was just kind of like, to be honest, I let that one slip out. It's not really like a big deal. I'm just kind of like thinking, oh, I just spat, my bad. I was just kind of thinking like, I don't know, today hasn't really been like, there's been kind of like no motion really going on today. But I think a part of me feeling that way is sort of becoming accustomed to like really being like in my own space without having to really get something. You know, in one of these past few videos, I was talking about like, man, a lot of why we feel so heartbroken after a breakup, or even just like if like someone you were interested in didn't end up being as interested as you are to them as they are to you. Does that make sense? Like if you feel a heartbreak, right? And the entire time you like look back and you're like, wow, I was really putting effort towards trying to get this ball rolling, and it didn't end up going anywhere because I was the only one putting the effort towards getting the ball rolling, right? And it's not anything against the other person what so means, at least in my particular situations, you know, like I was trying to get the ball rolling like kind of like early on. And when I was doing that, like I was seeing way farther ahead in terms of the potential of like where this could maybe go, that I was like fully committing, you know? And I wasn't really verbalizing that sometimes to the person that I was like kind of with. So it was just me putting all the effort. And then when it didn't work out, all the effort kind of like reflected and came back onto me. And I just felt the weight of it all after like things didn't work out. And it was, you know, it was tough. It was tough. But now I'm in a space where I'm not doing that. I'm like, okay, I've learned from that. Let me like, oh man, there was this one picture of Jake and, oh my God, I forget the character's name. Oh, Jake and Finn from Adventure Time. I'm pretty sure those are the characters' names. It was like a picture where like, I think Jake was telling Finn like, if I got the names wrong, I'm so sorry. But Jake was telling Finn like, dude, you don't eat the fruit at the same time that you plant the seed, you know? And I was like, when I saw that picture, like literally earlier today, or I think I saw it yesterday, I was like, dang, like this is such a kind of like a ironic or such a good message for me to see at this point, because that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now. Like literally, I'm in a space where it's like, okay, if something is gonna go anywhere, let me not try to enjoy the fruit of the plant that I'm literally trying to like see grow. I'm not gonna like there's no fruit. There's like the plant isn't bearing any fruit. Why would I just try to pluck out nothing and make something out of the nothing, you know? So it's like I'm in a space now where it's like this is kind of like my first ever real attempt of feeling something deeply for someone, but really refraining myself from really trying to like make something out of nothing, because I don't know. Really, there hasn't been a conversation that has been held in terms of like what that person may feel or think or really see. There's been like a few breadcrumbs like here and there, but it's nothing that like really solidifies the entire thing. Like there's something going on, and I'm aware that there's something going on, but let me not try to rush and make something that is still kind of cooking, you know? Like there's just a lot. Like I've been through quite a bit to get to this point. And I'm like, okay, if this is gonna be something, let it simmer. Let me let it cook. I'm not gonna try to rush into like fully committing myself into this. Like, let me do other things. Like, I've been going. I mean, honestly, even before I got to this scenario with a particular person that's kind of like playing out right now. Before I got to this point, which, by the way, just to make it clear, the hike person and then what I'm talking about now is two different people. I don't know if there was any point of really like clarifying that, but whatever. The point is that what's it called? Like before this, actually, because I knew this person back in March, I would say since March up until now, yeah, like even in this time. Oh my God, there's one thing I actually want to talk about. Because like looking back into March and then seeing where I'm at now, even just these few months, like let's say all of March, oh my God, I forgot the months. What the heck is going on? April, May, June, July, like 4 to 5 months we could say, because it depends on what time, like what day of March or whatever. Point is, like between 4 to 5 months, I think, right? Hopefully I got the number right. Even just reflecting from March till now, we're pretty much closing in into August. I'm like, whoa, yeah, just how I handle just this particular situation has really changed. And then what, like last night when I was going to bed, I was looking at my, like, man, I used to stream on Twitch, right? So like I found like all like my clips that people were like making it around that time, and I was like, wow, even then I see myself at a much different place. Like it's almost as if that version of me has kind of like, I'm not the same guy or the same person that I was like during that time than I am now. Like things have really changed. I handle things a little differently. I really do handle things differently now, to be honest. Like quite a bit has changed, quite a bit has changed. And like some of the things that I would do then, I no longer do. Or if I still do them, it's not as much as I would do it then. And then my mindset has changed. The kind of habits that I do on a day-to-day basis now, it's completely different. The way that I spend time with people has really changed. With my own family, things have changed. With my friends, things have definitely changed. Like just all around, things have changed. Now, has that happened because like I decided for it to happen? No, it just got to the point where some things really just, I guess, accumulated to the point of, okay, this much has happened, and then this is the result, But it's not to say that this is the finished product. I've said it in various different videos at this point that this job is not done until we go out, until this body is like, all right, I can't go no more. And then whatever is animating our physical body is like, all right, I can't be attached to this physical body anymore. Deuces, that's it. So yeah, I kind of said a lot. That's I guess like me saying a lot is really a result of like me yapping so much. Oh no, not me yapping so much. It's really coming from the pre-workout. But even then, it's only about 13 minutes in. So I think I'm gonna just yap a little bit more, because why not? But one of the things that I brought up a few minutes ago, right, in terms of like how I was feeling throughout today, I noticed that although I'm in a space, because all right, so I saw a TikTok, right? I think earlier today, and it was talking about like mental health, and the guy was like, some days I feel like just really low, some days I feel really great, and then there's like any day at any given point you're gonna feel all over the place, right? And I'm not trying to say like, how can I word this? Because that's kind of like what I felt today. I was like, man, I feel pretty low. And then I'm kind of like understanding a little bit as to why maybe I'm feeling that way, because something has really shifted in terms of how I handle something. At least for me in this particular situation, I noticed that the reason why I'm feeling like this is because something that I was so used to doing, maybe this is maybe this is what's going on. I don't fully know. The universe works in mysterious ways, but I just know, not just know, but what I'm sort of like speculating, right? I think that's a better way to say it. What I'm sort of speculating is the reason why I felt this way today is because an old habit of mine kind of is in the process of peeling back. And because it's in the process of peeling back, it's almost like as a part of myself that was in the old habit is kind of like dying in a way. Like it's kind of dying. And I guess like my body or my emotions or my energy in a way is kind of mourning the loss of that part of myself to some degree, Again, does any of what I just said in the past minute or so, is that like factual? Is that really how it is? I have no clue. But it is for certain that these, the way that our life unfolds, yeah, 1000%. There are times where we feel like, just this morning when I woke up, actually, no, I wouldn't say yesterday morning. At some point throughout the day, I probably was really excited, and then over something, and then next thing I know, I'm like, oh man, I don't really feel so excited anymore. Like, what happened to that? And then at some point, it was just like, I'm really bored or something like that. I don't know. It's very, very mundane things that I'm just saying right now, at least as for me. But it is true that we really do suffer quite a lot. And I do think that the suffering is just as pivotal in terms of our lives. If anything, maybe more pivotal in terms of how impactful it is in our lives. It really impacts us because those things ultimately make us the person that we're going to become, the final product when it reaches its end, you know? So, yeah. It's 11:21. I just like looked down to the clock real quick and I was like, what time is it? But yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to yap about. Maybe this, let me see. How long am I? I'm like 16 minutes in. Maybe I'll get this part out and then I could just go home. This is like the pre-workout that's kind of making me like, hold up, maybe there's more to say. But the point is, I just realized I didn't have the little stick in my hand. I kind of like having this in my hand. But whatever, the point is that lately I've been sort of in a space where I'm trying to balance an impulse that I feel from a genuine feeling of like excitement or joy, right? So like for instance, last night I was working. I got out of work, but right before I got out of work, I got really excited over like a particular situation, and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this and not even tell the person that this is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just gonna go through with it. I'm gonna have the confidence to just do it and not care about I wouldn't say I'd not care about the result, but maybe so more like, you know, I planned something. The person doesn't know that I planned it yet, but I confirmed, like I got the tickets. Like, let's see, like it's a sort of like a way of me like planting the seed, not telling that person until like maybe like the day before or something like that, you know? And you know, as soon as I did that, I was kind of like in a space where I'm like, should I tell the person now? Should I tell the person now? And then I was like, no, like, you know what? Like, even though I feel so excited for this right now, let me sit on this and really just take the time to like kind of like reflect. You know, even buying the ticket, like I was kind of like I took like maybe like a few hours before I actually fully committed to buying the ticket. Like in the moment the plan came up and I felt so like joyful and excited. But then I was like, hold up, let me even take some time to think about buying the ticket. Then a few hours passed by, had a conversation with my sister, not about buying the ticket. Actually, I think I did bring that up, but whatever. The point is, I'm like all over the place. The point is, I'm kind of like in a space now where I'm like balancing a genuine feeling of excitement and joy, and then like my thought process. Like, okay, I feel this way, and I know it feels true because I feel genuine excitement and joy. But let me not go and sort of express it to that person that it's like correlated with. Not yet. Let this take a few days to really kind of like, you know, go. Cause like, I don't know. Like that's just kind of like how I'm handling it right now, you know? So we'll see what comes of it. Genuinely, I think, yeah, part of me is like excited, but also like, hold up, let me just keep my cool. Like, let me just keep my cool. Let me, if I'm going to tell the person the day before or like something like that, let me do it from a place that like feels just as true as it felt in that moment. And if it doesn't, you know what, let me not even speak on that. We'll just see how it unfolds. I'm going to leave it up to the universe. All right, now it's time for me to finish yapping. Now go enjoy your life. And I really do mean that. That's it.